Hi guys, I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope your eczema is not bothering you too much. And I thought I'd come to you from somewhere where it actually has some good lighting, maybe a little bit different. I always sit in the same place, I always say the same things, and I feel like I always have the same gestures. So I'm gonna mix it up, and I wanted to talk to you guys about basically this miracle that I found, this basically finding out about how to use diet to cure eczema, because I think it's such an underrated thing. And some of the old-time viewers, you guys are already on the bandwagon, you guys are already rocking it, you're already doing fantastic stuff, and I'm hearing, great comments about how you're doing exercise, dry brushing, you're eating a low-fat vegan diet, things are getting better. That's fantastic. Like I couldn't ask for anything better than, you guys help yourself. Because that's essentially, how you empower yourself and how you can live a life happy with beautiful skin. But what I wanted to talk about is basically how I got eczema and how I got to this point and how long it took to basically heal up to the point where you see now I don't have the same terrible eczema and inflammation as I did in my very first video back in end of May, I think. And since May, that was June, it's been almost 5 months. And in that time, so much healing has occurred, so much detox has occurred, so much suffering has occurred, but it was all well worth it, because the main thing I want you guys to take away from this video is that it is so much easier to heal your eczema than it is to keep having eczema for the rest of your life. Because all it takes is about anywhere from 12 months or so to basically completely rid your body of it, give or take a few months. Maybe it's longer if you've had it for longer, but about 12 months, you're eating this way, low fat, whole foods, plant-based diet, focusing on getting plenty of exercise, plenty of hydration, dry brushing daily, incorporating some other cleansing mechanisms such as juice fasting and raw foods, and of course, getting plenty of rest and a whole bunch of other things I talk about in my other video. I've had eczema since 2008, so it's 2017, it's about a little bit under 10 years, about 9 years. That's when it first showed up. I was about 11 years old, and it showed up on the inside of my elbows. It came and went for a couple of years, and it wasn't until 2012, about 4 years later, that it totally wreaked havoc on my hands, started showing up on my wrists, and I was like, is this gonna go away? That's when I started using ointments about 4 or 5 years ago. And it just got worse and worse and worse. Up until the point in December 2015, I went vegan, and things sort of cooled down. They miled it out. They weren't as bad. But December 2016 is when I had the worst eczema of my life. I was just ashamed. I was embarrassed. I was in pain, I was suffering, I didn't know what to do. I was just using ointments 3 times a day like the doctor prescribed, nothing was getting better. And then finally I found Rob Stewart's channel. He basically said you have to cut out the ointments, you have to cut out the high fat foods, you have to cut out excessive refined carbohydrates and sugars, and you have to cut out alcohols and coffee and anything else that would irritate your skin that's not a whole plant food. And I was like, I could do that, that's so easy. So January 10th, 2017, I finally committed to it. I was like, I can do this, I can give myself 12 months, no problem. So in light of my 9-month anniversary, I thought I would make this video, like how much has changed, how things progressed, and what you can expect. So essentially January 2017, it was the worst eczema I was ever experiencing. I have photos that I sent to Rob, I'll show you guys. I basically thought, this is just beyond recovery. This is just, I'm gonna have scar tissue, I'm gonna just never be able to close my hands. It was just, I was in that mentality that this is never gonna get better. And it was terrible. And I felt like it was years in the making to get to this spot, and it was terrible. It was January, February, March. The first 3 months were the worst months. It was just one flare-up after the other, and there was no relief. And it was getting worse and worse with all the exercise, the dry brushing, the clean eating. Things were just coming out and things were just happening, and there was no stopping it. And I think if you're experiencing that, that's good. That means things are coming out, things are getting better, and things just naturally have to get worse before they get better. This was many, many months, April, May, June, July, even August. So 5 months of basically still having eczema, still having those flare-ups, still having the nighttime itches, but it never got as worse as it was in the first 3 months. This complete, like, it was almost like a sleeve of eczema. This topical steroid withdrawal syndrome thing, what they call like red sleeve, like it's just pervasive throughout the whole skin area. That was going away. So that was like phase 2 almost. So that was like 3 or 4 months into eating clean, and for a good 4 or 5 months, somewhere April through August, it was just sheer terror. It was every single night was itching. It was scratching to bloodiness. It was wearing long sleeves. I couldn't, feel comfortable in my skin, and I just kept eating well. I kept keeping it in the back of my mind that things are going to get better. Just keep doing what you're doing, because anything is better than going back to the diet that made things horrible the first time around. So anything was better than what I was doing before. So finally August 30th came around. I moved out. I moved back to Vermont. Things were still bad the first week or two, but around the end of August, around the 8-month mark, is what I take it to be, is when rapid healing started happening. I don't know what had changed. I was doing the same 4 days a week exercise, dry brushing every single day. I was doing the whole foods, plant-based, low fat, and things were just getting better and better, just miraculously. Like my lip cleared up, my eye cleared up, and then it started to feel like this is actually working. But basically, the main takeaway, as I said in the beginning, is that it is so much easier to just heal your eczema, to commit to 8 months of eating this way, of doing this stuff, and telling yourself that if things don't get better in 8 months, I'll try something else. Believe me, it's going to work. So keep eating your starches, keep eating your grains, your beans, fruits, vegetables, minimal nuts, seeds, and avocados, plenty of water, stay away from the alcohol and the coffee, get some exercise, move your body, dry brush in the mornings, get some rest, 7 to 9 hours, and take it easy. This works. It just takes time, it just takes patience, and it takes some heart and some bravery to just weather through the storm. So I hope this helps you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.